Formal education is like a walk through the zoo, but informal education is like a walk through the savannah. Stephen Hart. When we think about formal presentations, we think of the incredible school projects we have to deliver or a presentation in the boardroom. But what about informal presentations where the context is more casual? How do you deliver that presentation? Which is exactly what we're doing in this week's episode of MasterTalk. Hi everyone, Brendan here from MasterTalk on your go-to channel to mastering your talk. And today we're discovering the art of the casual. So let's grab a sofa. Number 1, pretend as if you're talking to an old friend. Imagine the following scenario. You're meeting your best friend in Italy after 10 years of never meeting him in person once. How do you want that conversation to go? Are you gonna sit there with a bunch of bullet points and structure and make sure everything is perfect? Of course not. You're going to be happy to see them. You're going to ask them powerful questions. And above all, you'll be enthusiastic and you'll enjoy the presence of them being there. And that's it. How do we bring that same level of energy into the way that we present in an informal setting? Because when you transition from formal presentations to informal, now the question becomes, how can we make this a little bit more interactive, like a coffee conversations, like a lunch with a friend, so that it feels more conversational with the person you're speaking with? That's the difference between informal and formal. Where informal, it's a lot more of a one-sided conversation where I give you a presentation and then you ask me questions at the end, versus informal is we take a pause and go, what did you get so far from this presentation? Any questions for me so far? Any thoughts that you want to share with the group? Let's do a quick share with everyone here in the room. And notice how that feels a lot more like a friend talking to another friend. You don't need to get all your ducks in a row. You just need to have that conversational aspect to the way that you're communicating an idea so that you transition from the boardroom to the couch and the coffee room. Number 2, bring your informal conversations into your informal presentations. I want you to think back to the last lunch or dinner you had with a friend recently. If I asked you how it went, you would probably respond with, well, it went well, Brendan. It was nice. So we enjoyed ourselves and there's not much to it. Exactly. You enjoyed yourselves, you were in the moment, and it was a great time. And this is where the misalignment begins. Because when we present in public, we're generally a lot faster. Our mindset is always, how do I get out of this presentation as quickly as possible? Versus when you're having lunch or dinner, you rarely check the time. You're mostly focused on the present and the person in front of you, assuming that you're going out with lunch just, with somebody you actually like. But the point is that when we compare both settings, we want to try our best to align the two. In other words, I want you to slow down your pace. I want you to ask more thoughtful questions. And I want you to bring a calmness and an ease to the way that you communicate during your lunches and your dinners in that presentation, so that people feel like it's informal, so they don't feel intimidated or attacked or that it's too formal, that they have to be on their phone the entire time. That's really how we shift. Look at the way that you speak in public and ask yourself, do I show up that way when I have lunch with a friend? Do I show up that way when I have dinner with my buddies? And oftentimes the answer is no, so realign yourself. And finally, number 3, break out of your old presentation self and become the speaker that you're meant to be. Why are most of us average at communication? The reason is because the education system forces us to be stuck in a box. Our whole life, we've presented subjects that we're not even remotely passionate about. You're in high school and you're talking about Shakespearean poetry. And then after, you have to talk about the Renaissance, which is a time period of history. And we've been conditioned ever since we were young that communication is a chore. So we shouldn't really try to make it feel like a lunch or a breakfast or a dinner. I guess I'm really hungry. To the people that we love, to the way that we convey ideas. So what does that mean for the person who's listening to this video, which is you? What that means is my encouragement to transition from formal to informal is to do exactly what you do when you meet your old friends, which is have a good time, take a little risk. You don't sit there in that lunch and go, I really need to get out of this lunch as quickly as possible, and I better make sure that every little technique that I present is perfect, or else my friends will disown me. We don't think of it like that when we hang out with our friends, but we bring that attitude, that mindset into the way that we share ideas in a presentation. So what does that mean? That means the next time you give a presentation, say that extra joke. That means the next time you give a presentation, give a little sarcasm, give a little statistic. Don't be shy to go the extra mile, because you never know where that push will take you in your life. And even if it flops, it doesn't matter, because as long as you're continuously pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, not only will you be better at presentations, you'll be better in your everyday life when you meet new friends and you improve the quality of your own relationships. As Stephen Hart says so well, formal education is like a zoo, and informal education is like a savanna. So I encourage all of you to embrace the Savannah-esque moments in the way that you deliver and prepare for presentations. Why is that? Because the zoo is nice. It's well structured. You know where the elephants are. You know where the zebras are. You know where the lions are. But it's not as fun as creating your own world, a world filled with your ideas and what you genuinely care about. And as always, if you enjoyed this week's episode of MasterTalk, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well to see more videos like this. And I also do a free communication workshop over Zoom every 2 weeks, and it's absolutely free. So if you want to jump in one of those, link is in the description below. Can't wait to see you at the next one. And if you know one person who really needs to get better at presenting in an informal way, be sure to send them this video so that they'll be one step closer to mastering their talk. See you next time, everyone. Thanks.